Hey, are you ready to get your mind right this morning? I'm Kerry Green. I am here with the Morning Mindset Edition every single morning of the year. Yes, of the entire year. You can find one of these every morning on Facebook, on Twitter, at the website livebuildchange.com/morning-mindset. Because I want to encourage you to do the work it takes every morning to get your mind right. And that means thinking the way God says is right. Thinking along the lines of His truth. And yesterday I left you hanging a little bit as we were talking about the issue of judgment and how God Himself is the standard of right judgment. I said yesterday, there is no textbook or no law book external to God that He looks to tell Him what right and wrong is. He is the textbook. He is the standard. Just in His very character, He knows right and wrong because it is the essence of who He is to have that kind of wisdom, to know right from wrong. And He always does right. Always. That's what makes Him God. And yesterday, at the end of the episode, I said I left you hanging because I really did. I just kind of gave you that truth that God is a God of judgment and His judgment is always right. And I asked you to kind of sit with that for a little bit. And I want to do that a little more today. We need to get our minds and our hearts around that fact because there are circumstances and difficulties in life which we find hard to stomach. Things where we see God could have done something differently. God could have made some suffering go away, or He could have prevented some hardship from happening. And we get so immersed in this situation, we're not able to step back and recognize that God, in His perfect judgment, has allowed that thing to happen. And more so, He's not only allowed it, He has refused to prevent it. So in the end, no matter how you couch it, no matter what terms you use to describe it, God is the reason that thing is going on. He is ordaining it, if you want to say it that way, because if He didn't, He could stop it, but He doesn't. And those kinds of things are the difficulties we come up against in life, because time after time after time, things happen that we wish were different, that we think should be different from our human perspective. And we feel that if God was loving, He would have prevented this, or He should have stopped this. But that's where we need to pause and recognize that what we are feeling is like a red warning light on the dash of our car. What we are feeling is telling us we are evaluating the circumstance through a lens that is not in accord with God's way of looking at things. Because here's the reality. If God did feel or know that that situation should be different, it would be different because He is the standard of right judgment. He will do and does do what is right in every situation. And so the situation we find ourselves in, as complicated and as painful as it is something He has deemed right for some greater purpose we don't know about. And we need to take that red warning light on the dash of our car, which is our emotion, our resistance to that concept, and we need to let it instruct us. We need to humble ourselves before it and say, there's something in this situation I'm not seeing rightly. And we need to humble ourselves before the mighty hand of God and allow Him to become our teacher, our instructor, to show us His ways. You see it in the Psalms all the time. Teach me your ways, O Lord, that I may walk in your truth. And that's really what these morning mindsets are for, is to remind us that we need to do that every day. So as you face difficult circumstances, perhaps in your life today, remember, you need to humble yourself under God's mighty hand and say, teach me your ways, O Lord, that I may walk in your truth today. We're going to talk about this issue of judgment a little bit more tomorrow on the Morning Mindset Edition.